I don't know what my notes from like a month ago mean. They literally are only good for 1 week, and then they're stale, and I don't remember what I was writing about.
They're like pastries, they go bad that fast.
They really do. The show notes absolutely do.
Stenographer, you are not.
Absolutely not.
So, welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. This is episode 255. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
I can't interrupt her very much because she's casting on a toe for a sock. She realized she has no vanilla knitting. So while we wait for that to accomplish, and then she can let us know what we're going to cover, I'm going to let you guys know that I hate it when people cancel coffee plans, because I was going to get a fancy Starbucks coffee with my fancy Starbucks gift card, which I've had since Christmas, and I haven't been to a freaking one to go to, and no coffee.
That's very
So now, what do? Do I make at-home coffee? Which isn't fancy coffee, so lacks fancy coffee fanciness. I am not Diana. I do not have a machine in my house that makes fancy coffees. I do not have a milk frother. I have nowhere to put these items, so I cannot own them. Diana can tell you, there is no counter space for which to put a fancy coffee machine in my kitchen.
Very correct, yeah. You'd need like a bonus cart somewhere, but I still don't even know where you'd put that. I don't know.
I wouldn't know where to put that either. So it is not happening.
You've got really tall ceilings. Maybe you can have like some kind of fold down shelving arrangement.
The hope is, because it's a narrow. Now we're going to discuss my kitchen. My kitchen is one of those, it's a European style kitchen, which is fair given the age of the building. It's still a very European style building. I could have one of those like small IKEA 2-person bistro tables in where you could sit on either end. So it is just wide enough to stick one of those in. I won't. What we have been contemplating doing is getting a nice, again, IKEA, because they make European furniture, so it's sized correctly. So do that and have it against the wall. Right now I just got bookcases, which will give me depth, and because then I can get drawers and stuff.
Right.
I have one drawer, guys. Kitchen, one drawer.
Ooh. Yeah.
One drawer. Because someone decided all kitchens needed dishwashers. I love the dishwasher, but it meant I have only one drawer. And it would give me some more cupboard space and stuff for storage. So if I did that, we would get one of the ones with the bottom unit and then a space in the top unit. So I'd also have like an extra countertop space to put like the toaster, the coffee maker, the skinny syrups, the grinder for the coffee beans, like, and the things that I like to use and have out. And then my kitchen countertop can be kitchen countertop or dish drying space as it needs to be. So that's been the current discussion. Though since we're still in the first year of lease on this apartment, and we don't know if I'm going to stay after the first year, because you always need that first year to sort of, is it the right space? Is it the right location? Is it good for you, right?
Yeah.
So until that decision has come to, and really I'm just at 6 months, I'm barely used to what's going on in the building because it's been under change all the time. I moved in and they were just starting to take tenants after renovating. So like we're still waiting for people to fill the suites.
It's very new.
It's very new. It's a very freshly renovated building. So that's fine. So once that all irons out and I have a better idea of everything and a better idea of the vibe of the community and the building and stuff, I'll know if I want to stay or not. No point making massive changes if I'm leaving in August for a new apartment.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No. I know how to increase on toes of socks. What are you talking about? I definitely know what direction my increases should point and how to execute them because I've been knitting socks for years.
I need to tell you that it's irrelevant because it's going to be on your foot and no one is going to see it. But here we are. The increase of your toe increase is irrelevant.
I will see it and I will know. These are socks for me. I will know.
Oh, Lord.
I assume these are socks for me. I don't know. They're either going to be for me or somebody with the same size foot as me.
So you.
Which could be several people.
No, make socks for you. You've been making socks for Mr. Diana. It's your turn now.
I do believe it is my turn for a pair of socks.
It's your turn for a pair of socks. I'm going to have to put my foot down about that. It's your turn with the pattern you won from the even sock heel along that you participated in. It's your socks. Also, it's Algria yarn.
It is. I'm
Oh,
so excited. Okay, but we're getting ahead of yourself. Ourselves. Okay, let me write down that I'm doing the
nope.
thing.
Let's
These
try that
very
again.
dramatic shadows. Oh my god.
Are you ready to tell people what we're going to cover this week?
Yeah, this week we have What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Yarn on the Go, just wild, Wool Gathering, and Kniterature. So many things this week. So starting with cups. In my Pokespotty cup, I have coffee, as per usual, for it is Sunday. It was almost morning when we were going to start. It is now solidly afternoon, and I'm still drinking the same cup of coffee.
Life,
But it's new
guys.
to me coffee. Blacksmith and Bean, which is a Cambridge roaster. So I live in Waterloo. We are effectively the same city as Kitchener. Like it's one city. And then like also mostly attached is Cambridge. So like Waterloo, Kitchener, Cambridge are basically all one city, but legally speaking and service speaking, they're all separate cities, but they're basically all one city if you're going to drive.
It's like Winnipeg and Headingley.
Yeah.
At this point, it's basically Headingley is a part of Winnipeg. It was probably once a satellite community, and now you guys have just sort of grown into each other's city limits.
Yeah, like Cambridge would be like Headingley, and then like Kitchener, Waterloo, it's one city. There's no dividing line. It is one city.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a welcome to sign in the middle, and it's one city.
Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Well, it seems like at some point we're going to be out. Niverville will have grown so much, and we will have grown so much that Niverville will just be a part of Winnipeg at that point. It'll be a part of the Winnipeg greater
Winnipeg's
area.
gonna have to be big before it absorbs Niverville.
Well, yeah, give it time. We don't grow up. All we do is grow out.
And this is true.
Yeah, same with
Anyway,
Niverville.
yeah.
It's not growing up. It's just growing out.
Well, why would you grow up when you have all of the out and it's so much easier to build out? I can't blame it.
I can, because it makes infrastructure a pain in the keister.
It really does.
Growing up does not cause such a problem. Nor does it cause
out is cheaper.
Quite a large of an impact on, nature.
We don't care about nature and infrastructure and stuff. We only care about like immediate costs right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of what species I belong to. I can't say I'm excited about it, but I am aware which one I belong to.
Oh no, don't interchangeable needle detaching itself. Oh dear. Yeah. What is in your cup today?
I am making my way well over halfway through a cup of cinnamon vanilla tea from Stash. I needed something with a little bit of spicy warmth to it today because we definitely had more snow and blowing winds. So yeah, snow drifts as high as doors and 2+ hours to clear driveways from all of the chatter from people. Guys, I pay someone so I don't have to do it. So it's not an issue for me. And when I didn't pay someone because I lived in a house, I just shoveled the driveway. It was fine.
I hate shoveling.
It was fine. My brother-in-law shovels in his shorts and hockey jerseys. Sorry, football jerseys. Sports ball. I don't. Football. He's into football.
Well,
he's into American football.
He's too Canadian for his own good.
He is too Canadian for his own good. We'll stand outside in his work boots, his shorts, his football jersey, with his Tim Hortons cup, with mittens on, shoveling. The man could not be more Canadian if he tried. He's like short the plaid shirt because he'd overheat. And the two
that's a hardy Canadian right there.
He's something else, my sister's husband. Why my sister, who believes that 23 is too cold to keep a house at, married a man who thinks 17 is too warm? I don't know, but she did, so okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's working for them.
I don't know. I don't live with them anymore, so I don't have to hear the arguments about the temperature of the house anymore. It's pretty much always my tea is living in my nightmare before Christmas mug.
Good mug.
Well, the mysterious Mr. B was over for our Path to Glory campaign game last night, so he used my Northern Knits banner mug. And, you know, since he designed the banner, it's not like I was going to tell him no. But yes, we need to
What were we
get him
talking
some
about?
swag.
Cool threads. We're talking
You
about
were
cool
talking about
threads.
cool
You have cool
threads.
threads. I have
I
no cool
have yarn on
threads.
the go. I have been out walking, and as it has been one of those glorious winters, if winter's not your thing, fine. Do not complain at me. I have to survive the grossness that is summer. You all can just
Glorious.
live with my winter.
No, I moved away. I don't want to live with your winter.
You did, and that's what you do. If you don't like Manitoba winters, leave Manitoba. All right. I have been wearing my flat white pullover cardigan, and it's been a long time since I've showed it. So here we are. One circle yoke, snowflake themed winter worsted weight sweater that I wear when I go walking in -40 Celsius with the wind chill. Under my winter coat.
It's too cold. I don't. Nope. I'm good.
Glorious.
With my
Complete with cat
-10.
hair, because I left it
Oh
on the
yes.
chair and Phaedra pulled it off and has been sleeping on it.
Well, yeah. That's how it goes.
Thanks, cat. So this is some knit picks wool of the Andes, which Diana made her 8-bit sweater out of. So it is in the winter white and a sort of green, bluey winter green, winter blue colorway, which is really so darn pretty. It's the only time I ordered from Knit Picks because I hate their American conversion to Canadian dollars.
Fair.
Irritates me something fierce, so I don't buy from them. So that's going on. If I'm going to pay American prices, I'm buying Tristan's yarn from Dragon Horde Yarns.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how that's going to work. So showing everybody, because this is going to go in the wash because now the cat's been sleeping on it. That, and I've been wearing it for half the season, so it's time for it to get a spruce washing.
Fair.
So that we can clean it all up, because it might be wool, but it still needs to be washed every once in a while. Well, it does, and it is, and it's a thing. So there we go. But yeah, I've been wearing my sweaters and stuff when I go out doing things.
I have no cool threads, so I guess we are on to Woolly Workings, where I now have 3 things, and I think you also have 3 things.
I have 3 things.
Hey.
I like how you state how many items you have as a question mark. I have no idea. You don't tell me how many things you have when we make show notes.
Well, I mean, 2 hours ago I had 1 thing, and so I'm just sort of surprised now that I have 3 things.
It's like, I'm never sure how many things you do have. I'll go first because it's weird for you when you go first.
It's very weird when I go first.
In my lovely flower printed pattern bag from when I won a prize from Halloween Craft All the Things, which I forgot I had entered, so winning a prize was even more of a shock. What's with this D-ring thing in the middle of the bag? I don't get it. There's a lot of things about knitting project bags I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just don't understand a lot of things about knitting bags. I know that they're there and I know that people like them. I just don't get them. All right, I did a little bit of work on my, as I make noises for the microphone to pick up, on my everyday slutchy beanie. I really only worked on it when I was out for lunch on Wednesday, so like not a lot of progress happened. It's just some straight stockinette beanie going on. Nothing fancy, but it travels well. I would have worked on it today, but there's no coffee today. Only moderately grumpy about it. So there we go. This is some sock yarn from Erin's last year's bird sock colorway sets that she did. I believe this is September's. It's blue, guys. It's blue. That's what I can tell you. That's what I can tell you.
It looks so fun and speckly. I like it.
It is quite fun. So I got to keep going. I got inches left. Yeah, I might be halfway through my body knitting. Maybe.
The hats were supposed to be speedy projects.
Well, I'm sure they are, but you still have to work on them.
Fair, yeah.
And I worked on this for an hour on Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
I'd actually have to put time in for this to be done. if you're only doing 1 hour of work a week, it's gonna take a few weeks.
What? You mean if you spend more time on things, they get done faster?
Yes, that is
What a phenomenal concept.
crazy talk, crazy talk. So that is the first of my 3 projects. I just hear people going, talk about your sweater progress. Well, just for that thought, it's going to be last on the list.
Okay, I will start with the least exciting thing then.
Your toe?
Hmm?
The toe of your sock?
No, I feel like that's ever so slightly more exciting than the, hey, I did a single row on our podcast anniversary knit along that I've got like a month and a half left to do.
You notice how nobody is...
one row while we were making show notes, so I get to talk about it. So I'm continuing with my promise that I will work on at least one row every week so that we can talk about our own knit along that we're both doing so well at.
Did you notice that nobody is worried about me finishing the fingering right sweater in a month, but we're all starting to stress you getting that shawl done?
In my defense, I'm attempting to do a sweater in a month, so just chill. I haven't had time. As we just established, if you don't work on things, they don't get done. And my time has been going to a different project. So when that project's done, this project will get more time, like it deserves.
Like it deserves. Okay.
So this sad little U shape with those little spines is eventually going to be a maple leaf shaped shawl. I'm really excited to do the points. It should be very interesting because I don't do shaping to that degree in knitting very often, so it should be very interesting to do all the little pointy leafy ends.
I think it'll be a nice break from the body of the shawl, because by the time you get to the end of the body of the shawl, you'll be ready for something else.
Yeah, so like this, the body of the shawl is basically just this getting bigger for quite a while.
Yeah.
So like there's some increases, there's some decreases, but mostly there's just the spines, like you have the veins on a leaf.
Yeah.
I suppose I could hold up a picture of what it's eventually going to look like. Please hold.
Please hold
while I pull up a picture.
Mm-hmm. One lady said on the please hold for talent.
Okay. So it's going to look like that.
I think it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about it.
I
sincerely hope I have enough of the yarn. It's going to be close, but I should have enough.
Okay.
If I don't have enough, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'll have to finish it in some other kind of yarn. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Works for me.
Anyway, so this is the Maple Leaf Knit Shawl by Elf Moda.
Ooh.
And then the yarn is Cloud9 Fiberworks. Let's get some natural light on that. There we go. Cloud9 Fiberworks Winchester brackets Dean, which is this nice grays and browns, 50-50 silk merino. It's super duper soft. It sticks a bit to my wooden needles, I've realized, and I think that's part of the reason I don't like working on it so much, because it like sticks just a little bit more than I'd like to the wood.
Give the metal a try. You'll know in a round or two.
So I think I might need to pull out some metal needles and see if that works any better, because of course the stitches don't have consistent sizes because there's like yarn overs and the occasional slip knit all over the place. So like some things are like bigger and some things are smaller, and so it sticks just a little, so that it's just mildly annoying, like just ever so slightly annoying to work on. So I think maybe some metal needles might make this project go a little bit faster.
Well, and again, you'll know in a row or two what bothers you more, the slight stick or the slippery of the metal, and then you'll have a much better idea of what's going to work for the shawl.
And then that's been living in my coffee bag that the marvelous moderator also sent me for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a really flippin'
because
cute
maple
bag.
goes in coffee.
Maple does go in coffee.
And now I'm going to put this, I'm going to banish it back into its project bag for another week.
Till the Sunday when you panic and start working on it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
that's how we roll. That is how we roll here.
It is actually exactly how we roll here. September on
That is how we
Saturday, I
roll here.
go, do I have enough projects this week? Oh boy, I hope so. But like Monday, it feels like it's forever until the next episode. And I've got so much time to make so much progress on all the
Right?
things.
Yeah.
I don't. I
I
do
know.
not. I have a finite amount of time.
You'd think in 5 years we'd have figured that out.
It took us 5 years to figure out how to post rules and regulations for a cowl on our webpage. I'm
I
gonna
know.
go with we might have been hit with the pretty stick too hard. We're not.
We're slow learners sometimes. That
What
hey,
is it?
maybe
What
we
is it?
can
One of the
just
ladies
like
says? Our ability to be decorative is astonishing.
we're very decorative some
We're
days.
so decorative some days. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. I had to cast on something new this week because I was going stark raving mad. Uh stark raving mad, people.
After the infinite sweaters of last week, there needed to be not a wow, you're okay. Oh, you weren't kidding.
Stark raving mad. It happened last year too, about halfway through the cowl. I wanted to abandon the sweater and literally cast on everything else. It just do not make me look at this flippin' sweater anymore. Monogamous knitting is really hard for me. Really hard for me. So the primary point of the 2-week sweater challenge is just to prove to myself I can be a monogamous knitter, even though around this point and last year and this year consecutively, I want to run screaming from the room. So I know it's not a thing I'm going to do outside these challenges. Because nope.
Uh-huh.
So the marvelous moderator Asa sent over these Addy rockets. I have the little thingy bag that the needles came in that tell me what the needles are somewhere. I just don't have it here on the desk, which is weird because I keep like everything on the desk. It's a hot mess up here most of the time. I started a vanilla toe up sock because I'm trying out these new needles. I already hate the cord, but really, duh. Unless it's a Chow cord, guys, it's going to be hard pressed to keep my interest in any shape or form. So I'm using a mini. This is all Aran Sock Club yarn because I have so much of it.
Uh-huh. Well, don't we
That's
all? And if you
there's
don't,
a
you
lot.
should.
You should. These are two of the Christmas color minis. One's a mustardy yellow, and the other one's like a really nice kind of fuchsia pink. So I did the toe in the yellow, and I'm using the January Sock Club colorway from this year. So
Okay.
this is Star
Okay.
Trek themed. This is the Celestial Temple from Deep Space Nine. And I'm going to do a striping pattern. So I'm almost done the first section in the Celestial Variegated, and then I'm going to do striped rows of pink in up the length of my foot.
I like it.
So
That's gonna be
that is what I
so
casted
fun.
on Thursday because oh my god, I needed a break. So I did that. It lives in a green bag because green canvas bags. I should put some of my should be minis from you on here because this is one of those heavy duty. Can you hear that?
Ooh, get some ASMR up in here.
Yeah, it's got that. It's a very good hard like heavy duty canvas, which really good for some bags. So I feel like it could hold the pins and do well. It's a big like this is too big of a project bag, guys, for a pair of socks. Like this is shawl sized.
Okay.
So because like there's so much space in there. What I have going on.
This is a bit of space, extra space.
It's a little overkill. It's a little overkill. So I might put some pins on that bag. We'll see how that goes. So that was my if I don't cast something on, I'm going to go mad. Cast on this week, which I knew was going to have to happen. So I need socks. I watched Erin do the same sort of striping thing where she did so many rows of her variegated and then so many rows of one of her minis and striped it up her foot for a pair of shorties. And I loved it. So that has
They
to
are very
happen.
cute socks.
Has to happen. And I had a second mini in the pink because it's like the same pink in the January sock club as was in her holiday mini collection. So I have enough to do both of my feet, which because like my foot's 10 inches long, right?
Mhm. So I was looking at my sock and did I just screw something up? No, I did not. Yes.
Because I
I'm
mean, you
agreeing
have to
with you.
remember a 20-gram mini will not do toes, heels, and cuffs for me. It will do toes and heels, but it won't do toes, heels, and cuffs. So I can either do toes and heels or heels and cuffs or toes and cuffs, but I cannot do all three with a 20-gram mini for two socks because I have a larger stitch count. Well, I have the larger end stitch counts. I'm not a man's 15 or anything crazy, but I do have a larger than ladies medium-sized foot.
Mhm.
So I use more yarn in my socks, which
Yeah,
makes sense to me because I have a bigger foot.
the math checks out.
The math checks out. So having the two minis means I can do the stripes up both feet, which is kind of exciting. Maybe up even into the leg of the sock because it's only going to be shorty socks, but we're going to have to see how far that mini goes.
I'm very excited about these socks because yeah, the stripy socks were so cute.
So cute. I need to make a pair. So that's happening. I might call them my celestial temple socks because that's the
Yes,
colorway of the yarn. So that makes sense.
it
So
does
there we go.
indeed.
That is my second of three projects. And again,
All
I
right.
worked on it for 2 hours. I have a toe and the start of it because I had to cast on the toe 3 times. I know I cannot cast on a toe and watch Critical Role, and I did it anyway. Because I have to count, and I forget the
That's fair. I
counting
have my
part.
own story about things I can't do while I watch Critical Role
I
later.
don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. So you are up
Uh,
again.
okay. So in a panic, because I had no vanilla knitting, I grabbed the only cake of yarn that I had wound, the only cake of sock yarn, and I cast on a tiny little toe. So I have been working on this since we did our introduction. So not very long. Like literally,
Minutes.
I was on
It's been
round
minutes.
3 as we did our introduction. So I got a little bitty toe. These are going to be the Reps and Rest socks by Nikki Knits. I won a pattern by apparently entering in her even heel sock knit along.
Yeah.
And I was like an early finish or something. I don't know. Anyway, I won a pattern. So I got another one of her sock patterns. So I'm going to do another one of her sock patterns
Good.
because, yeah. And in a turn of events, I'm not using Erin's sock yarn because I didn't have any wound.
Guys, I
I'm
did suggest that
using,
she could wind while we recorded. That was the thing that could happen.
well, but then I would have to set everything up and then take everything down. And I'd
Yeah.
like, with the microphone clamped onto the desk, I only barely have enough room for a Swift and a ball winder.
I need to come to your office and organize you so that you are more functional.
It's just the size of the desk and like where I've got a computer on this desk and I've got a microphone on this desk and like trying to fit a Swift and a ball winder while the microphone is in place is just not gonna work. Anyway, I had this ball or this sock yarn. I guess it's sock yarn. I'm assuming it's sock yarn wound from
It's
last year
fingering
when I
weight
was,
yarn. It's fine for socks. It does not need nylon.
I think it has polyamide or
If it's
something.
got
Anyway,
polyamides in it, you're fine. That's nylon. That's
yeah.
the nylon equivalent of nylon.
So I had this wound last spring when I was doing my Ome tea. And then I just ended up doing a whole bunch more of that gorgeous purple color. So I didn't end
Yes.
up using this ball at all whatsoever. So it's just been sitting there wound, waiting to become something. So today it's becoming a pair of socks.
That'll be amazing socks.
This blues and purples and lavenders and yeah. So I think that should go very nicely in a pair of textured socks because that's what Reps and Rest is. What was I picking up? I was not picking up my phone to look at a pattern. I was picking up this little ball band tag thing to tell you that it's Algria.
Yeah.
Allegria. I don't know. We just don't say it properly because it's more fun. But Manos de
Can't help
Uruguay.
myself.
And this colorway is Pastel Tiza, Tiza, Tiza. Anyway, so that's a pair of socks that I started like 20 minutes ago. So there, yeah.
Pull back the
That's the
curtains. This
thing.
is how content gets created, guys. In a mad panic.
Oh crap, I need content.
Ah!
Quick.
Go.
Turn the crank, generate content. Add coffee.
Add coffee.
Speaking of which, add coffee.
Add coffee.
All right,
Make
your
it a
turn.
thing. My turn. All right, I'm in the middle of a 2-week sweater challenge. Yay! We did the first week check-in, which is always about the point where we feel really good, but we're starting to slightly panic about getting our stuff done. I am now in full-blown panic mode since Thursday. I'm going to be spending a very large chunk of today and tomorrow just knitting, because I should be on sleeves and I am not. And
Same.
I decidedly need to go get another ball of yarn. That super seriously needs to happen too.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does.
So, okay. That's going on. Tomorrow is Louis Riel Day here in Manitoba, so it's a long weekend for us. It's a holiday Monday for a lot of people. So I know it's a holiday in Ontario, but I don't know if you guys call it Louis Riel Day because I think it changes
Family
names.
Day.
Family Day?
It's
Yeah, it
Family
changes
Day.
names
Yeah.
across provinces. We celebrate.
Well, Louis Rel is not really a historical figure in Ontario.
He's not.
He
He's a
did stuff in Manitoba.
He's a Manitoba figure. So tomorrow is Louis Riel Day. So I mean, I've got a couple of family things I have to do. I'm Métis. It is a part of my heritage. So like I have things to do on Louis Riel Day, but they're over Zoom and stuff and chats. So I can do them all from the comfort of my home this year, which I've really appreciated we've gone to, because that's a side of the family that has RP and the vision issues. So a full on 3/4 of us are legally blind or more.
So not having to travel is distinctly easier.
Drivers are hard to come by and they're almost always married into the family.
This is a requirement for marriage in the family. Do you have a driver's license? Yes.
It might.
Good.
It might be. It might be. I don't know. I'm not married. It's a question that comes up. We're also across the country. So like some of us are here, some of us are in other small towns in Manitoba, some of us are in the Yukon, some of us are in Saskatchewan, some of us are in Alberta, some of us are in BC. Like it's everywhere. It's kind of ridiculous.
So Zoom
And
calls.
we move around a lot, so we don't stay stationary either.
So Zoom calls.
Zoom calls have worked great. Worked great for all of us. So that's going on. So I plan to knit my way through as much of that as possible. I will have to put it down if coffee actually happens tomorrow, because this is not at a stage where you can leave the house with it. We're at the it's enough of a sweater, it's a problem size. You know, so like you could take it if you were knitting with girlfriends for a knit night, but just out for coffee, people are really gonna look at you weird. I mean, they're gonna look at me weird anyway
It's not
because
a
I'm gonna knit
casual
on a
knit.
hat, but it's not a casual knit. Requires a bit more work. And I am stalling because I'd like to get the last few stitches off this row so I can show you guys what I've been working on. Last week I was at knot split for my shoulders. If you remember, I was struggling with those last few increase rows because I feel like they take forever. Because they do, because it's your shoulders plus your body on your needles.
Oh yeah.
It's big. It's big. I'm making clanky noises with my needles. Woohoo!
Clinkety clinkety.
Clinkety clinkety.
Oh, the stripes. I love it.
Look at all those stripes.
It looks good. It looks so good.
Doing the last color repeat before I can bind off on the body. So I'm in the last round of charcoal on the body. Then I have to do a light gray and a teal. And then the next time I'm at charcoal, I can do the hem for it. So I've done my waist shaping, I've done my hip shaping to be in the right spots. So now I'm just knitting until I've got the body length I need.
It looks so good.
So
I love the stripes so much.
that is a serious amount of progress considering I was like up in the teal section or the charcoal section. So
yeah, holy.
for progress this week, but I really needed to be on my sleeves to be more comfortable with where I was. The stripes look so flipping good. So flipping good. I'm so enormously happy with how these stripes have turned out. But yeah, Tuesday morning, I have to go panic buy a charcoal ball because I am down to this much in my first ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I still need to do sleeves and cuffs and a hem and a neckband, and we made a decision about the pockets. So on Thursday, me and Louise were talking about pockets, and I was thinking maybe a cut-in pocket, because if I was to do a patch pocket, I was thinking I'd have to like match the stripes, and I might not have enough yarn for that. The amazing Sherry on Patreon said, why don't you just make it the same color as your neckband and hem and make them charcoal gray patch pockets, so that way it's a detail that matches your other detail pieces.
That makes perfect
Genius.
sense.
Genius.
Plus it's easy to do.
Plus it's easier to do. So, and I needed another ball of gray. I'd already decided that by the time I got here anyway. So this is some Stash Impeccable yarn that I had. I have 2 balls each of the charcoal, which is a really dark gray, the teal, which is the blue, and the light gray, which is the gray, the light colored gray stripe in here. Now, to do all this and my neckband in the charcoal and my patch pockets and my cuffs and my I'm gonna go buy a 3rd ball of charcoal. I know we're pushing it, and I cannot do all of that on 2 balls of charcoal.
Yeah.
The yardage is not there for a worsted, not at my size. So we're gonna do that, and that'll be fine. And then I will have this hopefully done by Thursday, because that's when it's due to be finished for the 2-week sweater challenge. So that's 2 sleeves and a button band, a real button band, and 8 more inches of body knitting. 2, 4, 6 more inches of body knitting. In a bit, in a week.
Well, good luck. It's a good thing that tomorrow's holiday Monday.
Yep, because holy schnickerdoodles, do I need the day? I am not. I just said the finished sweater would be finished, so I'm literally leaving the pockets to last because I already said I wasn't going to have buttons because I actually don't keep buttons. So there will be no buttons on the cardigan because I will need to go purchase buttons, but the pattern says buy buttons afterwards anyway. So this is the Shapely Boyfriend cardigan. I do not remember the designer's name, so bad podcaster.
It'll be linked in the show notes.
It'll be linked in the show notes, which you can find at www.northernknitspodcast.com. And this is a free
links
pattern,
to that in the description box below.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys. It's only taken us 5 years. So so special, the 2 of us.
We learn eventually.
So that's going on. I am making some adjustments to the pattern. I mean, obviously I'm making it longer to fit my frame better, but I am not doing the ribbing. I'm going to do garter hem and garter cuffs.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna have that squishy garter at the bottom instead of stockinette. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do because this is flat, right? So
yeah,
that's fine. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have a garter button band because that's going to be visually different enough without me having to do ribbing, and it won't curl. So that's what I'm doing because I really flipping hate. I hate ribbing so bad. I was ribbing the Steinkrieger, and I was complaining about the ribbing, and that was bulky. It was like 6 rounds.
Yeah, that's like that's not even a lot of ribbing.
Every round I was like, oh, why isn't it done yet?
It's really not a lot.
I really don't like ribbing, people. And I do eyeball full-on ribbed fitted sweaters because I know how good they would look on me. I just can't get over the ribbing. Also, this dress is so slinky. This top refuses to stay down where it's supposed to go.
It's just like crawling up onto your neck. It's trying to become a cowl.
It really, or cropped. It's trying to do something aggressively. So I'm making progress. I made a metric ton of progress. I simply have not made enough progress from my comfort levels. So that is where we're at. So I'm going to panic knit this afternoon, this evening. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, I'm in a similar boat with the panic knitting tonight and tomorrow. Because so I'm doing the sweater in a month challenge, except then I decided I wanted to have the sweater done in time for going to Blue Mountain, which is happening tomorrow weekend. As this it's tomorrow relative to when this is released.
Yeah, you're out Thursday, Friday this week?
Yeah, overnight Thursday and Friday. So
Okay.
I wanted to have it done to go snowshoeing. We have opted to not do skiing or snowboarding since Mr. Diana broke his arm. And, we should just maybe not do breakable activities, and snowshoeing seemed safer.
Yes, good idea. Or like cross-country skiing, right? Like
Yeah, I think it's a little too hilly around there well,
for
I guess you can
cross-country?
cross country and hills. I don't have those skills. We're doing
Got it.
snowshoeing.
That's fine.
I don't have
Snowshoeing's
those
fun.
skills either, so this should be
Snowshoeing's fun.
interesting. But also, snowshoeing should give us lots of opportunities for sweater photo shoots, because I have my video game sweater that I'm going to take out.
Mm-hmm.
Oops,
Ye old
there,
8-bit.
as yield 8-bit as soon as I sew the armpits closed and tuck in all my ends.
Again, that's happening.
All the ends are getting woven in. I'm going to weave in the cuffs and the neckline
Just
and the
saying.
hem.
The armpits are being sewn up the first night you're in the hotel room.
Quite possibly.
I'm calling it.
I feel terrible because it's like 20 stitches of Kitchener for each armpit. Like that's it. Like it won't even take long.
No, but that's exactly what happens.
But it might be happening the night before we go, so it's probably not getting washed and blocked before we go. Anyway, the other one that's still on the needles that I was hoping would be off the needles today for finishing and washing and blocking purposes, and that's not happening. Thank goodness tomorrow's a holiday. But I am also doing the Steinkrieger. And so last week I had the body done, and I had the sleeves like 3/4 of the way done, or at least 3/4 of the way through my increases.
Yes.
So this week I have sleeves attached to a body. Whoop, that's too
look
close.
At you.
And I have the first bit of the chart done.
Look at you go.
Look at that. Look at all that. I'm so excited. I was even able to like try it on last night, and it like fits and it's great. It's distinctly shorter than the 8-bit.
The 8-bit's really long.
It came out to be like tunic length.
Yes.
This one is much more hip length. Okay. It's nice. Anyway, so my story of I shouldn't be allowed to do things while watching Critical Role.
Yep.
I did not divide my body adequately the first time that I attached the sleeves.
Oops.
I divided my body incorrectly, attached the sleeves, and started the chart, and then realized that my sleeves were not evenly spaced. So I had to undo all of the chart that I'd done, detach the sleeves, reattach them properly, and then redo all the stuff up to this point.
I couldn't figure out how to do rows 1 through 33 and then at 34 do 2 increases at the same time. I've become with you. I understand.
Anyway, so I figured that out. And the colorwork chart calls for like 3 or 4 different colors. I'm only using one color, so I'm like kind of modifying the chart as I go. Like this gray line here that I've just done. It's supposed to be alternating 2 shades of blue all the way across, and like I don't have 2 shades of blue. I don't even have 2 shades of gray. So it's just 1 shade of gray all the way across. It's fine. So I'm like making mild modifications for it to make sense in only 2 colors.
But yeah, I mean, I was doing the same thing, but they've got one where they show you it in 2 colors. It looks great in 2 colors, or like, in multiple colors. So you've got options.
So I'm not concerned about it at all. I love these swirls. I'm so happy. It looks so great, especially from farther away. Like it looks a little bit janky up close, but from farther away on camera, oh man, love it. Love it so much. It looks so good.
I'm so excited to pick mine up again as soon as I can. Thursday after check-in, ideally, this is done. And I can go back to working on the Steinkrieger. Steinkrieger? Stein like beer, not like skein, right?
Yes, Stein like beer. So I don't know if I have enough of this ball of white to finish the yoke, but that's okay because I have
another ball.
That entire ball over there. So I'm like, I definitely have enough. I'm not sure if I have enough white to do the inverted sweater that I want to do.
Where the
We'll
white's
see.
the color work?
Yeah. I think I
You
probably
might.
will, because like that's this way. That is a fairly big ball back there still.
You know what you need to do? Just weigh your gray when you're done. Because you've only used the gray as a color work. So if,
That's smart. Yes.
yeah,
Because
because then you'll
I
know
know
how
roughly
much
how
you
much it
used by
was.
gram. Yeah.
That's so smart. I will do that.
You're
Because
welcome. That's my
yeah,
one
there's
smart thought of the
tons
day.
tons of this gray, and I have at
And
least
out of
I
smart
have two
thoughts now.
more of these. So like we're good.
We're good?
Anyway, yeah, and then yarn. Yarn is, what is it? Cascade Eco. It's Cascade Ecological. So it's just undyed wool. It's bulky 2-ply undyed wool. I'm so excited. So I have to finish this yoke ideally today.
I think you can do
So
it. You've got some stuff to watch today, and we're recording really early for us.
yeah, so, and I mean, I'll have some time to kill because I'm editing this week. So I'll have some time to kill while things export and import, and I'll do all the ports. Sorry if the editing sucks this week.
Guys, my computer
That's on
is
me.
my computer is on life support. It's terminal diagnosis. It's
Poor old machine is on its last legs.
last legs. I have all the stuff here that I need to build a new computer, minus the bits that Diana and Chris are kindly sending me this as soon as they can, because oh man, oh man. And I'll have a functioning computer. But at the moment, I have this old Betsy, and she's doing the best she can. So I had to offload editing, and if poor Diana goes, nope, I'm never doing that again, we'll be live the following week. We'll just have to do that till I have my computer back. I mean, we also have to accommodate the fact that my brother-in-law is helping me build it. So like it has to be during non-store hours, and he's a grocery manager in the middle of a pandemic. He does not have enough staff. So I hate bugging him about it. The problem is he would pout for multiple years if I didn't bug him about this particular thing. So like I understand I have to, but I hate that I'm bugging him about it. I hate that I'm bugging him about it. Also, really, could you imagine me trying to put the computer together by myself? I can't even see the screws.
It would be interesting.
It would be the weirdest game of doctor you have ever played in your life, because you would have to be directing my hands over a video call on my phone.
I don't even know if that's possible, to be perfectly honest.
If that was something we had to try, I'd be like, and this is content. Somebody is going to enjoy
the
watching
weirdest
us
game
fail
of
at
operation.
this.
Like, okay, so you see how there's holes in the motherboard?
Nope.
So you have to take these offset screws, which are different from the regular screws, and put those in the case that line up with those holes, so you can put the motherboard on top and put the screws in there, and also make sure everything else is lined up, but also make sure you don't like touch things too much, drop it, scratch it, otherwise it's busted and you can't fix it.
Yeah, no, my brother-in-law said it doesn't matter that I had to bail on my anniversary weekend with my wife in the hotel. You're not putting your computer together by yourself. I'm like, thank you. My sister's like, nope, so much no. We're not even going to discuss how much no this is.
So it's a little challenging, like even when you know what you're doing and you can see what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and you can't even see what you're doing, I
nope,
would not recommend.
Cannot recommend.
Do not recommend.
That's fine. It is what it is. So hopefully I have a functioning computer here soon, because we can't farm until I have a functioning computer.
It's very disappointing.
Farming. I want to farm.
I will get the bits in the mail tomorrow, I hope.
Oh, I hope so. All right, let's talk things of a non-work in progress nature.
Yes. What do we got? Is it time for wool gathering?
Mm-hmm.
Wool gathering.
Unless you magically have another project you've hidden.
Bonus. No, I don't. Okay. In that case, it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad.
It is.
If for some reason you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. Link in the description box below. Look at me go. Support at any level gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all of the hours of the day and the night, enabling each other into, well, no motivation to finish anything, but to buy all of the things. You should definitely buy all of the things. If you're looking for restraint, don't come to our Discord server. You won't find any.
It's not what we're known for.
What else? We've got the weekly Experimental Tuesday blog posts where we usually cook something, but we do something experimental and write a little blog post about it. Mm-hmm. There's early access to bonus content. What else have we got? Oh, we're doing a quarterly movie night, day, afternoon, whatever your time zone is, a quarterly movie watch party. The next one of those, the first one of those, is going to be this coming up Saturday, February the 26th at noon Manitoba time.
True story.
Where we are watching the 1999 The Mummy movie, because I've never seen it.
And I love Brendan Fraser.
I've heard that lots of people absolutely love this movie, and so I should really watch this movie. In my defense, I was 8 years old when it came out, so probably not quite my thing. And then,
as your brother-in-law likes to say, it is the fourth Indiana Jones movie we should have had. Which tells you his views on it.
I'll have to rewatch some Indiana Jones, I think, because I barely remember what happens in those.
We could probably put those on the list if it's old enough you don't remember watching it.
I'm absolutely certain that I've watched at least a couple of them, but I really don't remember much.
Which is fair. That's totally fine. So that's going to be exciting.
And we've also got, at the higher tiers of support, we've got our monthly knit in.
Yes.
Yeah, where we get to chill and wow. Apparently this is too much talking for me. We get to chill and see what everybody else is knitting for a while, which is nice. We just had one of those yesterday as we're recording, so the next one of those will be on Saturday, March the 19th at noon Manitoba time.
True story. A radio presenter you shall not be. It's a very good question. No. I'm done waist shaping. Why? Why do I still have the stitch marker to tell me where to put the waist shaping?
Because
I'm ridiculous. That's why. Taking it out now, guys. I do not need the stitch markers to tell me about waist shaping anymore. I'm done the waist shaping.
Well, good.
I swear. Some days, people. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you cannot afford to financially support us, or not on a long-term basis, we have some amazing options. Commenting under the YouTube videos here, liking, subscribing, interacting with us on other social media platforms is always more than welcome, because you can enable us as much as we enable you. It is a two-way street.
We are very easily enabled.
So easily enabled. My word. And if it's one of those things that you really want, Diana made you guys a swag shop so you can own some of the things that have our logo on them and our banner on them, should you so desire, and that's on Shopify. As always, Diana has all the links in the description box below because that is how good of a human she is.
I copy and paste them week to week.
It's beautiful.
Let's be honest.
Beautiful, and we'll take it. And since she is not the radio podcaster in this group of two of us, I'll keep talking.
Continue.
We have a couple of cows running along right now, and after 5 years we figured out we could put rules on our webpage.
I know we should go back and then put some rules for the podcast anniversary up as well.
Let's do the podcast anniversary rules so I don't have to keep listing them and I can just direct people to the show notes.
Yeah.
So hopefully for the last week, the rules for the podcast anniversary, Cal, which runs from now until the end of March, are as follows. Any adult-sized garment must be 3 skeins or more and must fit within one of the very loose rule themes. We went with a 5th anniversary idea, so a wood is the primary entry point, though if you want to use a modern gift giving idea of silverware or gemstones or daisies, it's also welcome to do so. Otherwise, if your pattern name has wood or wood adjacent themes, if it is a wood or wood adjacent color, if Diana's making a maple leaf shawl, leaves come from trees, it counts. I'm making a sweater
Yep.
called Wood Woes. There's wood in the title, it counts. If the designer's name has wood in it, it counts. It's not hard, guys. If you're not sure, please DM me on Instagram or in the Facebook group and ask the question, and I will get you an answer, or the marvelous moderator also will get you an answer. So those are what is going on. And get prepped, because at the end of March means we collect those names, so long as you've used the hashtag NKP podcastiversary 5ED, so we can find you. Spelling
Very important.
linked below.
Yes, spelling also important.
Linked below. We have a wonderful gift bag donated from Tracy. She has it because everybody knows better. We don't give me things to mail. The wonderful Erin has donated 2 skeins of yarn picked by the Patreon members, literally.
Yeah, I think they picked all the colors and then I rolled some dice.
That's how we did this. I'm hanging on to these until we do the draws, and then Erin's mailing them to you, because again, 5 years, we've learned our lesson. I don't mail anything. Just don't let me do it. And then we're offering, if for one of the winners, in addition to, if they are not already a member of the Discord platform, to come join us on Discord for 6 months so you can have a first-hand glimpse of what it's all about. So having said all that, the second cowl, which is an upcoming cowl that is starting as the All-Star cowl or the Spring Equinox cowl, it's going to start on the 20th of March, and the rules for that are on the website.
Yeah,
Isn't that just so much shorter?
the rules for that are on the website.
Thanks, hearts and love and support go out to Sherry, one of our Patreon members, who did all of the link finding for us for that cowl. So she
That's
has
so many links. Like,
gifted you
holy.
guys so much inspiration. It is insane, and totally thrown me and Diana's plans out the window, because now we need to, like, what is it, like half the list of links I want one of?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So now I have to rethink what I'm going to be doing for my own spring cowl, because my initial thoughts out the window to lunch, because I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yep.
So we'll figure that out. It's going to run our standard 3 months, because that's just for us, for Diana, and for people who are like Diana and like us, who perhaps don't knit 5 pairs of socks a month. You know who you are. Like having the more relaxed 3-month cal format, which is perfectly fine. Have I looked at pricing? No, guys, the cal hasn't even started. Haven't even thought about pricing yet. I will think about that when we get there.
Burn that bridge when we come to it.
Burn that bridge when we come to it. All right, that is it for cows and news, which means, because it's the second last Sunday of the month, we should talk about the sock club yarn for the month, because we both received sock club yarn, which means we have acquisitions we can actually talk about now. We get them earlier, but we don't talk about them till the end of the month. Yeah.
Are we ready?
Of course.
Okay.
Just taking out
Sock
that
club.
second hip shaping stitch marker that I don't know why I kept.
February yarn.
Look at that yarn.
The Empress.
So good.
It's pretty. It's pretty. It's like greenish, brownish, pinkish. I'm not doing that justice.
I love that, especially with like yarn colorways. If you like the color of the dyer, you don't necessarily have to understand the inspiration behind it. So even though for me there's a bonus because it's Star Trek, and I know what that means. If you don't, it's still a gorgeous yarn. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
So if you would like some of your own yarn from the wonderful Fireweed Fiber Co., we have a discount code, which is Northern Knits 10. That is Northern Knits 10.
Save yourself 10%.
Yeah.
Here's
Get
mine.
some pretty yarn. Pretty yarn.
Here's mine.
Pretty yarn. Pretty yarn.
Look at that
Pretty
mini.
yarn.
Look at that mini.
Pretty yarn.
She's so good with her contrast minis.
It's so pretty. It's a pretty yarn. Pretty yarn.
So good.
I thought really hard about casting something on with this yarn, but then I figured I probably shouldn't do that until, it's no longer like a surprise. Because if I cast something on with this at the beginning of February, I can't take pictures of it because I would ruin the surprise for other people.
You would, but now you can because it's the end of
I
February.
can now.
You can now.
Is that everything for wool gathering?
It is.
We're on to books.
Mm-hmm.
I finished no books, but I started 2 more.
And then I introduced you to a whole new series you're going to go hunt down.
Yes. So my hold on A Court of Wings and Ruin came up.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, oh, hey, yeah, I want to listen to that. Not really thinking about how I have like 2 other audiobooks actively on the go that I haven't finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I now have a week left to finish listening to A Court of Wings and Ruin.
You are not going to be happy if you do not finish that book before your thing's up.
I know, and then there's so many more holds on it that if I don't finish it, I'll just have to wait more months.
Get that done.
I'm so annoyed with myself that when it came up, I didn't go, oh, just like deliver that in like a couple of weeks. Because you can do that on the Libby app. You can just be like, I don't need this right now. Just like bump me back a spot in the hold list.
Yes.
But I didn't. So now I have to listen to it very quickly.
Hey, you got all that sweater knitting. Listen while you knit on your sweater.
But I have Critical Role to watch.
You put Court of Wings and Ruin ahead. Because Critical Role doesn't have a return date.
Yeah, okay. Fair point. And then for the next sci-fi fantasy book club book, which I can't even go to, which I realized yesterday, which I'm really annoyed because I'm going to be in Vancouver that week. So like 3 hours out, I definitely can't make that meeting. But I was so like gung-ho about like, I'm going to read this book on time. I'm going to finish this book on time. And I actually am, because I'm well into the book and just started it. Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie.
Okay.
Is very interesting. I'm only a few chapters in, and there's like so much that I want to talk about already. And I'm not even going to be going to this book club. And I'm so annoyed.
So what you're saying is I should read it so we can talk about it?
Yes. Okay. So completely non-spoiler, the whole premise is that it's told from the perspective of an AI. Okay. So there's like a ship AI, artificial intelligence, but it's sort of distributed and it has human peripherals, I think is the best way of describing that. Okay. So this intelligence has all these extra like human sensors, but also can peripherals, like a keyboard on a computer is a peripheral, but they're whole humans as peripherals.
So like Andromeda.
I don't know. I haven't read that. Watched it, read it. Okay.
It's a show from the 90s,
I haven't consumed that particular media.
It is Hercules with Kevin Sorbo in space.
Okay. Well, I'll watch that at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's like
some describe things as sales pitches.
There's some like deeper plot about how exactly these the human peripherals are called ancillaries. There's some deeper plot about how this one particular one got detached from the ship and like it's going off and doing its own thing now for reasons that I don't know yet. But then also because it's an artificial intelligence, it has no concept of gender. And it's describing the struggles it's having interacting with people, trying to speak in gendered languages and going, oh crap, is this person I'm talking to male or female? I don't know, I'll take a guess.
Well, I mean, it's a problem we have as gendered people talking to people now.
So when gender is not a problem, this particular AI defaults female, and it shouldn't be as weird and different and wah as it is, but
It is.
I don't know. I'm enjoying the default female pronouns in this book. Anyway, so I'm on like chapter 5 of this
Oh
book
my.
only. And like it got so into my head that I had a dream the other night that I was an ancillary. Like this is in my head. So highly recommending Ancillary Justice.
Got it.
And I'm only on chapter 5.
I will put it on hold at the Libby. I'll put it on hold at the Libby.
So that's my books. That's my Kniterature for this week.
I did a lot of watching. A lot of watching
Wake
stuff.
up.
Not reading stuff today. I was gonna go for real coffee, so I didn't have any this morning. So, because I've been doing a lot more watching things than reading things, I am still making my way through Erin Morningstar's The Starless Sea. It is a beautiful book of literature, and I say this because I get very invested in how people write and describe things, and you can be insanely detail orientated where like you remark on how many eyelashes a person's eye had. Like you can go to town on details, and I will enjoy it as much as I enjoy someone who well describes an entire person in 6 words. So it's how well you use the language that I get excited about, not necessarily how verbose you are with the language that you're using. So long as my brain can conjure a mental image of what it is you're trying to get across, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Starless Sea definitely leans to more towards a couple of descriptors, a wide brushstroke, and then you have the mental picture in your head with the occasional additional detail of like linen pants and cabled cream colored sweater. I really don't need anything more than that. It's perfectly described. I can feel the linen pants. I understand a comfy, cozy cabled sweater. Golden, right? Not a problem. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm reading, which happens to be sometimes in literature. I read something and it's beefy and it's thinking, and you got to sit there and you got to contemplate the meaning behind the words and the choices that are done. So it's a really good book, but is the person being described to you in the little mini story in the story, because it's a story built up of stories that sometimes overlap and sometimes don't overlap at all.
That's very thinky.
It's like, what am I reading? I'm gonna still, Diana, you will really enjoy this book. It's like the yellow wallpaper. It's a really good book. I'm just not sure what it is I'm consuming. Which is fine. I was trying to describe it to Mr. B last night. He's like, yeah, no, it'd be really interesting, but how do you define it? I'm like, I don't know yet. So going through and reading it's quite enjoyable, but I can't just binge it. It's not a bingey book. It's not a book I can just go, and
No.
I've listened to it for 8 hours straight and I finished a good chunk of the book, because I need to stop and process what I've been reading and how it fits into the world that the author's been creating. So it's a thing. Like the pirate and the lady are metaphors. Don't understand what that's about yet, but they know that they're metaphors, but then sometimes they don't know they're metaphors. What?
This feels very much like a dream sequence.
The whole bloody book's that way. It's just, I don't know what's happening, and the main character that we check in on between the stories also doesn't know what's happening, so at least I am not the only one who has an aha clue.
Okay.
And the
Is the
sun
main
and moon
character a
are in love
metaphor?
each other? I don't know yet. The sun and moon are in love with each other, but time and fate didn't want it to happen, but the mouse stole the moon's heart to keep it safe or something. I don't know. I don't know where this is going yet. But I'm
Okay, well,
invested.
okay.
I'm invested, and I need a necklace with a bee and a key and a sword. Recurring iconography in the book is a bee, a key, and a sword.
Okay.
Need that. And just it's fine, guys. Just it's way out there, wonderful written literature that just tickles my fancy something fierce. I have to remember that I've happily read most of what people have on like top 100 must read classic literature books. I have already consumed.
Mm-hmm.
I did so of my own free will, not because I was ordered to do so in high school.
They're so much better when you read them of your own free will. Like if you're forced to read this book and you just like, what is even going on here? Like you're not going to like it. But if you choose to read a book like, oh, what's going on here? Completely different experience.
Completely different experience. So I've been slowly making my way through that, though I really do need to finish that up quickly because I had a book come up on hold on the Libby app, which means I got to get going on it. And it is Two Witches and a Whiskey.
Which is now a whole series that I need to go and read.
And she was telling me about the other parts of the series, so I added those on hold. And Something in a Daiquiri is
Dark Arts and a Daiquiri.
book 2. And I have that, but I have to wait for book 1. But meh, I'm going to read book 2 and book 3, and then I'll just read book 1 when it comes up on Libby. Because that's how I flow. So that's going on. Because I still need to get Mouse underway. And I have a flip it like next Sunday is the Bloody Book Club.
Oh.
Yeah. And I have yet to fail and not finish a book club book read on time.
Well, you should get on that.
I gotta get on that. And somehow knit a sweater this week too. What the wrong with me? Why do I do this to myself?
I don't know. You keep claiming it's your happy place to have too many things to do. I'm not sure if that's true, but you keep saying it, so maybe it is.
It gets me out of bed.
Some days
well,
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, guys. All right, so that's it for me in books. I finished the last 3 episodes of Vox Machina.
I finally did.
Are you excited?
I was wow.
Yeah.
I really need to go watch campaign 1 now.
I
want more details about everything.
All of the things. All of the things.
They pull no punches. Like,
None.
That is not a cartoon for children. That is not a cartoon for the faint of heart. They pull 0 punches. It is just in your face.
It's beautiful. I love it because it's what adult animation can be. It doesn't have to be South Park or Archer or, it can be something better. It can be something better. So excited. I'm so excited. Well, I know there's a season 2 because when Amazon picked it up, they rounded out the first 10 episodes to a full 24. So we just did the first 12. So we'll have a season 2.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I was so happy when I found that out.
Well, we don't have a season 2 release date because Amazon hasn't told us yet. I'm really hoping that it's been big enough on Amazon, and it looks like it's big enough on Amazon that we might get.
I think the critters have seen to that.
More seasons, and if I have to watch this thing on a repeat to help keep it up high so we get more seasons, I will do so in multiple languages.
Oh my god!
The world is ready
for to Vox Machina as well. Now that we're talking about it,
yeah, the world is ready for really good adult cartoons, which just sounds dirty. I mean,
they're like
Scanland,
20-minute episodes. Oh my god, Scanland! It's so good.
So good. But guys,
so well done.
When we say it's not for children,
it's not for children.
Not for children.
Violence. So much violence.
It's not. Gore. It's not innuendos. It's straight up in your face. I think Scanland's full frontal by the end of the first. Before the freaking.
Did we get full frontal, or do we just get like?
I don't know if we got the full frontal and saw the cube.
I don't think we got quite a full frontal, but it was close. There was.
I mean, we saw his underwear on his head. We saw the underwear on his head.
Yeah. Well, there's the one where it's like the camera's like down behind him, kind of looking up, and there's definitely some
bits. Yep.
Yeah, some bits. There's some bits. Yep. It's not for kids. It's
not
adult.
For kids.
It's not for kids.
Adult, not for children.
But it's really good.
So good. And if you play D&D, it just makes total sense because you're like, that's not one.
That's a creative use of that spell. I'm gonna remember that one.
Gotta remember, and that's your DM absolutely rolling his eyeballs at you because you have called this character every other nickname under the flippin' sun except what his actual name is. Which we all do to all of our DMs across all campaigns.
Yeah, we do. just part of the game.
It's just a part of the game. So I'm just
How many ways can we say this NPC's name incorrectly?
correctly. So I can't wait for season 2. I hope we don't have to wait till like next year or anything, and we get it like 2020 later 2022, because season 1 was delayed so much because of COVID. So I'm hoping we can get it later this year, because oh man,
That'd be
dragons.
amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, that ending. Oh, what?
What? Yes.
What?
And I've seen the campaign.
I need to go watch campaign 1.
The campaign, and my brain is going, I can't wait. And I already know what's going to happen. Guys, I watched campaign 1.
I need to go watch campaign 1.
It's so good. And Grog has his new sword, and that's Grog and his sword.
Is that the sword that talks?
Yes, it is.
I'm so excited. Who's gonna voice the sword?
I don't know. I mean, we don't hear the sentry in the cartoon either, and Matt gave the sentry a voice, so the sentry is a Californian, like full-on surfer California. He was talking to it, and he's like, "Hey." Oh no. So good. Watch campaign 1. It's a very good. I mean, if we can do this and we can keep the momentum and everybody stays invested in it, we could get a campaign 2 series going. Like they have the potential to just go from Vox Machina, and when they're done the stories with Vox Machina, start telling the Mighty Nine story. And then, like if it's something that progresses and people like it that much, like there's the potential to see Ford and Jester in an animated cartoon form. Like, wouldn't that just be?
They already did all the character designs from the
amazing.
the intro bits. So like,
so I just there's
things
I hope for
Yes.
that I really hope go, because I am so ready for there to be adult cartoons and adult animation that isn't awful gross body humor all the time.
Yeah, we can have mature, serious cartoons.
Yeah.
That are also
satire,
very immature and not serious at the same time.
Balance it a bit better so you get some real moments in with the levity for things. Oh well, that's it. We've got books under our belt. We've talked about television. So let's wrap this bad boy up. You have some sweater knitting to madly do?
Yeah, gotta have some lunch first.
So
then I gotta learn how to edit an episode.
Sweet. Well, in which case, I'll say until next week, no matter where your week takes you. No, wait, let's try that again. That was a fail. I'll say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And you'd be hard pressed to know we've been doing this for 5 years. So no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. Well, what episode are we? 255?
We are 255. I even changed out the numbers in the background sign. I'm so upset I can't find a second 5 in the same font. So it's 255.
It's a very aggressive final 5, is it?
It is a bit. I'm just really annoyed that I looked through all of the letters I possess and I could only find one 5.
Gross.